This is a good reason as any to come over to YouTube and see the video version of the show.
I got a toad hat.
James is just... Hello and welcome to the Press Start podcast, Press Start Australia's weekly video game discussion podcast. I'm your host, Ewan, joined today by my fellow gamers and co-hosts, Shannon.
Hello.
Brody.
Hello.
And making his long-awaited return, it is James.
Hello.
The numbers were down.
Glad
The
to be
viewership
back.
was scary without James here.
Yeah.
On the show this week, we're going to be discussing some rumours again about an Xbox handheld this year, as well as what they might be doing for their next generation of consoles. I'm eager to chat about The Last of Us 2 in light of Neil Druckmann talking or not talking about Part 3 and the trailer coming out for Season 2. And we've also got Death Stranding to discuss, as there were some rather big announcements around that as well. So lots to get through. But James, firstly, welcome back from Japan. How was your trip?
Really good. Just really good to not do anything, because we did everything last time, like the touristy stuff, like going to see everything you have to see. So we didn't really have a plan this time, which was good, because I kind of just went wherever I wanted based on the vibe, rather than having to wake up really early to take 10 trains to get to this shrine before there's a crowd there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so much nicer.
Yeah.
Bought everything I needed to buy. Officially...
Like what? What did you buy?
Just some old games.
Did you buy any hats? Or did
I did buy some hats, yes.
you care to model one?
Oh, okay.
Shannon didn't see them. I think he missed out. Pretty sure.
I'll be right back.
Oh.
Get ready, Shannon. He's hilarious. This is a good reason as any to come over to YouTube and see the video version of the show.
I got a toad hat.
James is just...
I also got...
it's so good.
I bought my Donkey Kong one over, and I got a Bob-omb as well. But I feel like this is the best one.
You brought the Donkey Kong on the trip with you?
Yeah, because I bought it last time, because we thought maybe it would open. It's very hot. I'm taking it off.
Oh, the park.
Yeah, so because that was another reason I went, is because I wanted to go on the minecart and stuff, and that was amazing. Really, really cool. Really clever too. The food was good. All really good. Still a very crowded place though, so if you don't like crowds, don't go to Universal Studios. Right. Yeah. And I think Donkey Kong's only, as soon as the park opened, there was a line from the entrance of the park to the entrance of Mario, for people just to get into Donkey Kong, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty good overall. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm keen to go back, but not so soon. I think I don't really need to, for the sake of my wallet, really. But yeah, no, really, really cool. Lots of good hats.
I'm hoping to get there next year. That's my plan.
Yeah.
And just quickly as well, you excited for the Silent Hill showcase on Friday?
I am. Yes. I hope it's good.
Excellent. That's as quick as it can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Just it's the people who made Resistance and Reverse, right? They're not a great developer yet, but this is the first time they've been given a chance to kind of be the lead on something. So I'm keen to see what they do.
Yeah. Holding reservations for Friday then. We'll talk about that one more next week, I suppose. For this week, though, let's get stuck into some of the juicier topics of the week. And kick things off with the Xbox handheld rumours that have been kicking around just in the last few days. This comes the way Windows Central, who's reporting that an Xbox-branded handheld is set for release later this year. That's not to be confused with the Xbox kind of dedicated handheld that is, they're also reporting is set for release in 2027, so a couple of years away. But this would be, Shannon, presumably someone else's handheld PC that's kind of made in collaboration with Xbox. Am I understanding that right?
I think so. I think similar to... I swear there was a MetaQuest announced at some point that was going to have Xbox branding, or maybe I'm just making that up in one of my tech-filled dreams. But yeah, I think it's going to be an Asus ROG Ally, which, here you go, you can just imagine an Xbox.
Everyone's got props for show and tell
logo on that, and buttons and stuff. But then when I think about it, I don't really know what an Xbox-specific handheld would be that this isn't. It's just going to be a handheld PC, which it sounds like that's the direction they're moving in. I think this will be a good way there. I assume maybe the next one will be custom chip and more in line with the Xbox, where this will probably just be using it off the shelf. But yeah, as an experience, I mean, they are pretty much Xbox handhelds, right? People play the Xbox app and whatever. So I'd assume it'll just be more integrated and seamless, which is good.
Yeah. Brody, like, what does this do? Anything much for you? Like, would you have any interest in like an Xbox kind of branded handheld PC, or are you kind of more eager to wait and see what they themselves
You'll buy
do
the
as a
same thing with
dedicated
just an
piece?
Xbox logo
That's
on it.
right.
Surely that's.
I've got a fucking mini fridge down here with an Xbox logo on it that's still in the box, so I'll buy fucking anything. Yeah, look, as someone who has like a ROG Ally, like I don't know that this particular SKU that they would introduce will do much different. That will need me to sort of lash out and buy something. Like if it were more like Steam Deck, like in terms of like, you know, you boot it up and you've got the Xbox UI and it's just all very I guess one for one in terms of what that experience is. Like I could see myself gravitating more toward that, especially as they begin to like roll out being able to cloud stream like more of your library than just what is on Game Pass, etc. But yeah, like if it's just similar to a ROG Ally sort of setup, then yeah, I mean, unless it's souped up and I guess can stream things better, which I don't think that really makes sense tech wise. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the need.
I guess like I can understand the appeal, like because I guess they are like PCs in your hand, so like having an Xbox logo and stuff to quickly get to the app or like Game Bar or whatever, like it will feel more like the Xbox experience, like even if it's just a handheld that exists. So I get the point for it. I don't think there's going to be a reason to run out. Like I don't think there's going to be anything specifically different. But yeah, in terms of if you're buying to get an Xbox handheld, I feel like it'll feel like an Xbox handheld even with what we have now.
Yeah. To Brody's earlier point, I do hope this is an opportunity for them to kind of introduce like a reskinned kind of version of Windows almost that's like a little bit more kind of gamer focused.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of, in my mind, the leg up the Steam Deck has over the competition. at the
I
moment,
feel
in
like
that it's
that'll
very
be like the
seamless
2027 one. I don't think it'll be this one. Like I think the Xbox app has come a long way. Like you can collapse it and make it feel very like handheld friendly now. Like they are updating it constantly and it's gotten a lot better from where it was.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel booting into it and stuff like that, like having it as a front end will be cool. I'm keen to see what they do with it. I think it's very smart.
To bring in the other piece of reporting from Windows Central, sorry, actually, no, this comes via the way of Jez Corden on his podcast even. He was talking about there not being any current dev kit available for the next generation of Xbox console, but developers kind of given some target PC requirements for what's presumably like a more entertainment unit friendly PC that Xbox will distribute in lieu of a dedicated kind of console, I suppose. That's kind of, this piece of information kind of had me thinking, well, maybe they want to start stress testing this new kind of Windows gamer focus sort of system on other handheld devices first. But James, I don't know, what's your take on this? How does the idea sit with you that Xbox might be moving away from like dedicated gaming consoles to just a TV friendly PC?
It's not surprising, right?
No.
I would say consoles in general have been moving towards that in terms of architecture. So, I mean, when we talk about dev kits and how they've just been given specs, they're appropriate. I feel like that happens all the time anyway. But yeah, to like see Xbox move away from that and just kind of become this like system or like infrastructure that you can play on, no matter what your screen is, I think doesn't surprise me. Yeah. I think having dedicated, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they want to do. Like, I was just thinking just then about an Xbox branded ROG. Like, that doesn't really interest me. But then, like, if it's just, say, a dedicated handheld device that plays Xbox, it probably wouldn't be that much cheaper than a ROG. So it's like, why wouldn't you just get a ROG then? Like, I feel like there's just, yeah, I don't know. It feels like what they've always kind of done, which is like they kind of have an idea in the short term, slap it out. It probably won't work. And then they'll go it just feels very up and down.
It feels like almost like a stopgap to just get them in the market, almost of like,
because
like front of mind for
because
like
there's no portal, right? There's no portal. I mean, there is a portal. I guess your phone is a portal equivalent now, but a lot of people really want a dedicated device, like so. They probably want something.
I think to that point, like it's less exciting for Xbox because you can already do it on any handheld. Like you can play pretty much any first party Xbox game on a PC or a handheld. Where like PlayStation, you can't.
Or a PS5
those
now.
games don't exist. Or a PS5 or anywhere or a TV. You don't even need anything. I think it just makes sense. I think I think the next console will be a PC. I think the UI is going to be the same on everything, and I think that's the point of this and why they're doing it.
I
Yeah,
could
I think they're
maybe
trying to kind of rebrand Xbox in a way, like redefine kind of what an Xbox is, which very much goes back to that campaign we had recently of like, this is an Xbox and your TV is an Xbox if you want it to be, all that kind of thing. I don't know what the end goal is necessarily, if they're just trying to get people to think of Xbox as like an ecosystem, and you know, people say, oh, I might just go home and watch some Netflix, and they might be streaming something on Disney, but they just kind of refer to streaming platforms all as the one thing. Like maybe they want to kind of get to a world where people say, I'm gonna go home and play Xbox. In reality, they're playing like, I don't know, a Xbox published a game on their Samsung TV or something. I don't know. Yeah, it seems to be the direction they're heading. I'm not quite sure like what the end result entirely looks like, but I like the idea though that maybe the different SKUs of Xboxes in future just become kind of like a handheld, like lower spec thing. Like they do away with the Series S, and instead that's a handheld.
I was going to say,
the home console is
maybe
an
if
X.
it was like a dockable handheld that kind of took the place of the Series S.
Yeah,
that would be probably more interesting. But then you have to buy 2 devices. But I guess you have to do that for everyone else too now, besides the Switch. So.
If the kind of different kind of performance of games, I guess, matters to you, you could probably like settle, because you could buy an Xbox Series S and X at the moment, right? But
like they're both the same. Like I can't take my Series S.
They play the same.
With me. And play that portably. I guess I could, but that would be so impractical. But
then they're selling you 2 things rather than one. But like, I guess if you wanted, I don't know. I'm sure there's some people that have both an S and an X. My point has fallen a little bit flat though, James. You're right. Shall we talk about The Last of Us now then, or have we got any more thoughts on Xbox? No. James just doesn't want to talk about The Last of Us.
I like what they're doing. I don't know what else they can do. We say this all the time. What else can they do except put all their stuff in as many places as possible? I don't know what else they have to lose at this point.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see where PlayStation kind of go from here, though. That's the other thought that came to me, actually, was the controllers. Like, I wonder how insignificant kind of new controller features are going to be for hardware, like console generations in future. Like, PlayStation made a big thing about, like, adaptive triggers and haptics and stuff, but if, like, there's kind of just this universal everything, you can play anything everywhere sort of thing, are we just kind of done with controller quirks?
Well, the Xbox has never really changed, and people seem to like that. Even the leaked stuff that came out never really eventuated. So, yeah, you're stuck with your double A's, I feel.
All right, let's talk about The Last of Us Part 3. Neil Druckmann was recently asked by Variety about the prospect of a third game, and he said, I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more Last of Us. This could be it. Which is rather contrarian to what he said in previous interviews. Back in April 2021, he confessed the story outline had been written for a potential game, and he's hinted at it in the past, as recently as 2023, when he told The Hollywood Reporter, I think there's more story to tell. So a little bit ambiguous, I guess, but Brody, what's your read of all of this? Do you think he's telling a bunch of porkies, or is there some truth to it?
Look, I have to imagine they'll go back to the well of The Last of Us at some point. I guess they're probably just trying to get people more focused on like Intergalactic maybe at this point, because that had a big, I guess, media beat this week. So, I don't know. And then you've had the report today where I think someone, like a pretty reliable leaker, had said that apparently some actors had already filmed stuff for like The Last of Us 3. So they're like, well, so which is it at this point? Yeah, so I mean, look, I am of the firm belief there'll be a part 3. They'd be crazy not to. Like, it sells well. The show is obviously working in tandem with it, doing very well, so they'll want to keep that going as well. So, I've got no reason to think there would be
I
one.
do think that, like, the fact that they cancelled the multiplayer game means they're not just going to shit one out for the sake of it. Like, I do believe him when he says, like, there has to be like a theme or like whatever he talks about when he speaks about story stuff. Like, there has to be a reason for it to exist to an extent. Like, I don't think it's 100% done, but it does seem like it will happen at some point.
James, do you think he's kind of maybe just a little bit busy and has his priorities in other places now? Like,
I mean, is it possible someone else is doing it? Like another studio? Like maybe it's
Banned.
Don't tell me that. I don't like that idea.
Who cares? Like, it's fine. Like,
The
Yeah, I
Concord
don't know.
Studio back from the dead.
maybe it's like
Just
someone's.
Last of Us
Yeah,
Part
maybe
3.
Ben is working on one for the Vita 3. Yeah. But yeah, like
Okay, I'm back
a
in.
Golden Abyss kind of vibe. I don't know. But
What
yeah,
was the card game?
yeah,
Maybe they did
that
one of those.
treasure fortune hunter, whatever the fuck it's called. But yeah, I don't know. I think like it would be a bigger surprise now that he said no. I guess I'm not somebody who really cares. Like, I'll play it when it comes out, but I'm not like excited to hear any. I Intergalactic interests me so much more, like conceptually and artistically, than a new Last of Us game does.
Yeah, and I've been down this road before. Like when Naughty Dog came out and said we're not making another Uncharted game, we're gonna do this zombie thing instead. I was like, what the? Why would you do that? That's crazy. Give me more Uncharted. And now obviously I'm like, what are you doing making another game? Give us more of The Last of Us. So at this stage, I just kind of trust whatever they do. And if they're excited about it, I'm excited about it.
And I think like the mental toll that they would have had with the second game, it's still just
Yeah,
so
and
annoying.
that's something else I do like. I guess not worry about, but you think about this is showing how old I was. But when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, that was a similarly thing where there was a big bait and switch kind of very early on, and it kind of influenced how Kojima made MGS3 in a way. So I do wonder if like any of that would have a toll like on the creative process as well. I just feel like with The Last of Us, I feel like 2 was quite clever in the way that it really subverted your expectations, but I just don't see what else they can do now. Like, I feel like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I'd rather see side stories because obviously there is a lot more. Like,
yeah,
in
the
that
world is quite
given it is just a world.
rich.
Yeah.
Even the TV show, like dabbling into that. Was it the Indonesia? Like, it was in Indonesia, I think. There was some scene in the first 2 episodes that was quite interesting, and I kind of wish they did more with that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's so much kind of stories they could tell, I guess, within that expanded universe.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'd like to see another studio pick it up. Like, if Sony Bandwood are kind of weighed in, I'd like to see them just take on different characters within that universe. But, or maybe, like, tell Ish's story, or, like, one of those kind of tangential sort of stories within the series. But, yeah, I guess we'll have
Just
to
do,
wait
like,
and see. It could be
fitness
quite a
trainer
while. I don't
game.
believe him, though. I'm fairly sure they've
But you
got
play
a
as
treatment
Abby.
for this game. A fitness game. Like with the Wii Fit board.
Just how to get jacked like Abby. Just like, yeah.
Sticking with The Last of Us a moment longer, the trailer for season 2, the full trailer, I should say, we've had like teasers in the past, came out, featured some kind of pretty pivotal scenes, like the dance in Jackson being one of them. We saw a bit more of the Scar as well. Brody, I'm conscious I didn't give you an opportunity to weigh in on part 3 as well, but Last of Us trailer, what was your reaction seeing the most recent one? You hankering for April?
Yeah, I am. Very good trailers. I feel like this show has always done very, very good trailers. Yeah, as you said, obviously touches on a lot of the key moments from the game. So, and I feel like it sort of gives an idea of how much they might cover with this season. Like, I was surprised to see like quite so much of the scars and stuff, but I guess we knew. Is it Jeffrey Wright was going to be in it? So I mean, they were going to have him in anyway. So, yeah, obviously keen for it. The first season was great. Obviously, I'm excited mainly for the reactions to obviously certain things.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a big week, big water cooler moment. So, yeah, great trailer.
I'm curious to see like how much of Abby's story you get in, because I think conventional thinking has sort of been, well, they just tell the first half of the game in season 2. But I'm starting to get the sense you see a little bit more of Abby's story.
It's going to have to be
look
intertwined because you can't just do what the game did in telling the same events in back-to-back seasons.
It'd be tough because then season 3's
at that cliffhanger, and then you go through a whole season of like
season 3's a hard
5
sell.
years.
Yeah.
They did that in Lost. It kind of worked.
Did
Yeah.
it? I mean, I love Lost, but did it?
No, yeah.
I don't think that's what they want compared to though with this show. Really,
Like, I imagine they have to try and build. Because obviously when we hit that halfway point in the games, particularly, like, Abby was not a character that you really cared for, and it was over that next, 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah, I think there'll be
that's-
probably... Yeah, I think there'll be stuff with Abby and her dad.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they dedicated, like, the last episode of the season to like building Abby's character and maybe do like a perspective episode for her, show basically like the lead up to her dad and stuff, and then maybe it cuts at that halfway point where they're at the theater, etc. So, and then you've got a little bit more context for her character, so it's more palatable for when she's like the protagonist in the next season. But it'll be interesting. Like, but at the end of the day, after season 1 and obviously Chernobyl, like I trust Craig Mazin's ability to run a show. So
yeah, I'm curious because I thought there was a glimpse of the kind of cat and mouse section in the theater, kind of in like that backstage area, and I was like, that seems like more of a season 3 thing, but. Yeah, who knows? I don't know how much of like the next season they might have shot, and maybe they're kind of cutting in some footage into the trailer. Who knows? They could be doing all sorts of different things. So, yeah.
And there was definitely like a lot more stuff involving Joel that I sort of didn't expect, like stuff with like flamethrowers and shit that I didn't necessarily remember from the game. And I was like, I wonder how much he's actually going to be.
He's in a lot of flashbacks and stuff. If you played, like I assume a lot.
I did play it. Thank you. Yeah.
That. Well, you were acting as if he wasn't in the game at all. So
yeah, I mean, he's not in it heaps. Like he's in maybe 3 or 4 chapters.
Past Joel is.
Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you. You don't have to.
Yeah,
tiptoe
I think
around.
we'll see a lot more of like the time jump between parts 1 and 2. I reckon, and I love that they've got the museum scene in there because that was obviously kind of a big moment in the game as well. And
maybe they'll just rewrite the story. Then what?
You imagine that he just.
Don't.
He gets out, he dodges it or something like that. He's like,
exactly.
Oh my god, can you imagine? All right, I've got one more topic for us to cover off today, and that is the Death Stranding release date and trailer that came out of South by Southwest during the week. It was a 10-minute long trailer, not out of character for old Kojima, that announced that the game will be released on June 26th for PS5. James, where are your excitement levels at for Death Stranding? Are you going to be pre-ordering the collector's edition? What are your thoughts?
I didn't watch the trailer. I purposely made a choice not to watch the trailer.
Let's watch it now.
But I've seen the character of Neil and the Magellan Man. I think that is a very cool collector's edition thing, and I think the price is quite good considering as well. That's really all I can say. I just don't see a point. I feel like it's just really good to experience this stuff fresh, personally. But unfortunately, because I do live on the internet, especially now I'm procrastinating a lot, I did see a lot of the stuff with the new character Neil, which is unexpected and not unexpected. Sorry, is what I meant to say, but at the same time a cool surprise in a way. I'm interested to see what he does in the end, but yeah. Cool.
Brody, do you rate the June release date? Does that seem like a kind of good time for the game to drop, and can you see it hitting then?
Yeah, look, I can't think of anything else that's coming out in June currently. So I mean, I guess it gives it a good sort of month on its own to breathe, or I guess back end of the month. But I think I was trying to think, when did the first one come out? Was it like September, October? That sort of thing?
I think so.
I thought it was like back end, so
later in the year release.
Look, I'm with obviously the back end still to fill out for the year. I'm happy for this to get its moment halfway through the year. It's earlier than I expected. Like, I think this game's only like 3 months away. It's pretty exciting. Very keen.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the month of June.
Five Nights at Freddy's: Secret of the Mimic.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Delay.
I feel like that's somewhere expecting the Switch 2 to launch, so probably on the same day, just going
that's a valid point. Yeah, that's a valid point.
That'd be wild.
But yeah, like what a crazy fucking trailer. Like, I think I can happily now not watch another second of this game until like it's in my hands. Like,
yeah,
it's just too much. It's overwhelming.
I mean, I can't make any sense of it anyway, so I don't know if it matters if I watch it or not.
I
never finished the first game. I was thinking about maybe trying to squeeze it in.
It's definitely fun.
June.
It's definitely fun, like reading theories and stuff, and people trying to like pick frames apart, like on the internet and stuff, though, because there's so much weird shit in there. Yeah, and like what the themes are going to be this time around and all that sort of stuff.
Do you think it like? Wondering what your recommendation is for me now. Do you think I try and play Death Stranding before it comes out, or am I gonna just get more out of like a summary of the game and like
you might if you
explanation of the plot?
If you try and play that and then roll on to number 2, you might burn yourself out on walking around. Maybe, but
I think like if you get to the snowy bit, see how you're feeling, because I feel like that's the real like stress point for a lot of people is when they get to the snow.
That was a slog, yeah.
That's the real, because it's very front loaded and very back loaded. Like there's not a lot of story in the middle. And then it does this towards the end. It does this thing that you're like, oh yeah, no, it'll just let me fast travel there, but it doesn't. It just makes you basically traverse the whole game back again.
Oh my god!
I reckon play 3 or 4 hours of the game if you haven't played it before. You have played it?
I did.
Yeah, I reckon play
probably
3 or
did
4 hours
3 or 4
again.
hours of it again.
Get a taste of it, and then just watch it all on YouTube.
I was kind of enjoying it until I kind of got into like trying to traverse past the enemies and stuff. So it's probably not very far at all.
No, that's like
yeah, like
I was
an
just
hour in,
enjoying
maybe. The first BTs you come across probably.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, maybe don't bother. I don't know. Like, I revisited. I like played it when it came out on Xbox, whenever that was. I think January or late last year. And I was surprised at how much I was enjoying it. Again, even though I've done it all before. There really is nothing like it. Even just like the way it's choreographed in terms of how you cross a mountain and then you see a city in the view and then a really good song comes on or something. It's really, really smart for how it's deceptive. It looks very simple, but I think there's so many little smart design choices behind it that make it really special.
It vibes the game, basically.
I will, and I have no horse in this race. I played like the first hour probably 10 times on different things, iPhones and whatever else. It looks fantastic, like all the different terrains and stuff, and the screenshots they released look very, very nice.
I reckon I might give it another go, see if it kind of gets its hooks in me a second time around.
I think you will need story familiarity to understand this, just from this annoying tweets
and even then
from everyone.
You still might not.
yeah, true.
Some people understand it. Yeah,
it's just lost on some people.
It'll be lost on me. I'll be one of them, I'm sure. I don't have a rapid fire question prepped for us today's show. To be honest, I was trying to cobble the show together on the tram home.
Rapid fire. Are you going to go to the Death Stranding Sydney Orchestra concert?
No.
I would love to do that.
I don't know. That sounds cool.
I'm going to buy tickets after this podcast. I'm going.
Are they still available?
Yeah.
Wow, it didn't sell out.
Let's go, James.
I would love to go to an orchestral performance at some point of video game soundtrack.
You'll have played the games by that point. You'll understand.
It's so expensive to fly there and then stay there, and you know what I mean.
It's a commitment.
I think I worked out I can do it all for just under $1,000. So I mean,
that's pretty
probably
good.
It's
just but it is.
That includes
such a cool
hotel.
It would be such a cool game to see.
Whereas if we all go and share a hotel room, then we're all saving money.
Bed.
Group discount. Shannon, are you in?
Sure. Lock it in.
All right, now it's time for What the Wiki, the Press Start podcast game show where the previous week's winner reads part of a Wikipedia page for an unknown game, and we, the contestants, must guess the game. A point is awarded for each correct guess, with the round concluding after someone has bagged themselves 2 points. James, you'll be pleased to hear that in your absence, we did not gain a lot of ground. And we kind of just evenly distributed all the points between us. So no one really kind of came in to threaten you. You are still in first place on 7. Brody and myself are tied in second place on 5 points behind you. And Shannon is up in third on 4th. I think Shannon was kind of really the big mover actually in the time you were away, because he was kind of at maybe just 1 point prior to you leaving. So moving day for Shanny. And speaking of which, he is today's host, as last week's winner. So Shannon, take it away when you're ready.
I apologize if the dogs bark. There's rapturous thunder, so there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately.
Oh, the storm's moving in on you.
It is. It's arrived. Where do I want to start this one? The game sold very well following its release and is one of the best-selling Super Nintendo games with over 2.3 million copies sold. The game was released to fairly positive I don't even know what that word is. Positive reviews. Critics highlighted its accessibility features, innovative design, and educational potential, but criticized unnecessary limitations. Yes, Brody.
Mario Paint.
It is Mario Paint. Well done, Brody. Fantastic game.
Wow.
My hot tip is we're going to see something for the Switch too that's Mario Paint related. Just keep that in your mind.
Uh,
Where to now?
it's a good idea with the mouse.
Yeah.
Oh,
function.
true.
Yeah.
That's why he
Good
said
shout.
it.
The game is a 2017 action-adventure tactical role-playing game developed by Ubisoft Milan and Ubisoft Paris.
Brody.
Okay.
Oh, he getting a clean sweep, is he?
Yes.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
It is not Assassin's Creed Unity.
Okay. Let me know when I'm back.
The game is a crossover between two popular franchises.
Ewan?
Yes, Ewan.
What was the actual game called? What is
Brody.
Is it just Mario Raving Rabbids? Mario X Raving Rabbids?
Brody.
No, fuck.
I think you're not back in yet, Brody.
Oh,
I
really?
think
Stitch up.
James
End
has
of the
kind of got a...
paragraph.
I'll just guess. Is it X Defiant?
Brody.
say
Brody.
Oh. Okay. Let's yep, Brody.
Is it Mario and
anniversary.
Rabbids Kingdom Battle?
It is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That was huge
Clean-
round
Clean sweep.
Well
baby.
done,
for
Brody.
Brody.
Wow.
Yes, in celebration of Mario Day, they were all Mario titles. Unfortunately, we only got to half of them. So maybe next time you'll hear the rest.
Next March 10th.
Exactly
well
right.
done.
I'll leave
Well-
them in my pocket.
Brody's just leapfrogged over James there, shooting up into first place with that clean sweep.
Huge
getting
with him here
3
as well.
points,
So
Congrats.
that's
He's back.
moving up to 8th. There we go. It took us for James to get back, but we did manage to shake things up in the end. That's very good. And with that, let's bring it into what was this week's episode of the Press Start podcast. Subscribe to us on Listen or the podcast service of your choice. Follow us at press.au and visit the site at pressstart.com.au. We've been joined today by Brody,
Thank you. You can follow me on most things at Brody_DG.
making his return to the show. It was James.
Yes, it was. You can find me on X at James, ATJMZ.
And doing a marvelous job hosting What the Wiki today. It was Shannon.
I thought so too. You can follow me at
I
Shannon
agree.
Rixty on everything.
Let's try and figure out what that word you got stuck on was, though, eh?
Yeah, I'm very curious about
Send
that.
that into the group chat
Yeah,
afterwards.
I don't even know where it is. Yeah.
I've been your host, Ewan. You can follow me on socials at Ewan_Roxburgh. Thanks again for tuning in. And until next time, happy gaming.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.